Smokey Robinson's old ass is out here wilding.
Is that is concerning because people assume just because he's old, it doesn't mean he's not a predator.
First off, he's too old to harass anybody other than a pill bottle.
I mean, one of the songs on his album was It Still Gets Hard. I'm not really surprised that Smokey is a nasty-ass freak.
I don't know if you've seen Smokey's latest show, man. It is really hard to watch.
His hips don't lie, right? Because based off of the lack of movement, how can he gyrate himself into position? Speaking of someone who probably needs some prayer, because apparently Smokey Robinson's old ass is out here wilding, like on some Diddy shit. No, did he do it? I don't know. But apparently 4 women said, some of whom were housekeepers. Listen, man, it's been a tough day with some of these stories. So I'm going to get these jokes off somewhere, okay? But so please excuse us and get to the tag of the show. But the point is that 4 women who were working for Smokey said that Smokey smoked their boots, apparently, like without their consent. In terms of, they were working for him over the course, in some cases, like 12 up to like 2 decades, multiple decades. But they said that there were times when he was left alone with them, that he was taking it, you know what I'm saying? Like, without consent, and that he was leveraging apparently like their status, because they mentioned they were fearful of reprisal, which included something about immigration. So one can kind of surmise maybe that Maria wasn't feeling it from jump and kind of only stuck around because she didn't want to get deported. At least that's kind of how I was reading. That's not me saying that. That's what it said in the story, which is crazy because Smokey's like 1,000 years old. He just dropped the album not too long ago. I think a new album. And then before that, he was giving gasms out. So maybe he's not that old. But what are your thoughts in regards to Smokey and the Bandit? Because apparently his wife was in on it too, according to his lawsuit. You know what I'm saying? They were a tag team situation. Shout out to her for holding it down. She's a ride or die for real. But what are your thoughts in regards, if true, of course, in joking, what are your thoughts about Smokey cleaning up with the housekeepers, allegedly? That came so last minute. I still had to do it. I couldn't stop myself in mid-moment. But with that being said, so what do you guys' thought in regards to this very serious case in regards to Smokey Robinson's accusations and the 4 housekeepers?
I, for one, am sad. I'm very sad. I like Smokey. I've always I thought Smokey was a cool dude, man. He was a player. He gave me some great jams. Now, at first, my first question when I heard this story, I was like, dang, at the same time, he was a player. But no, that's not as inappropriate. So, but it was over a period of time, which does lend some, does show maybe a pattern of behavior, which is definitely, a smoking gun, if you will. Let me put my shades on twice for this. So listen, if the story was that they were afraid that their immigration or the naturalization status was going to be a problem, and that's why they didn't come forward. But they picked Trump's second presidency to come out and say something. That alone, I throw it out. Throw it out, Your Honor. Throw it out. I'm off. Y'all go ahead. I land.
They might have their papers by now, Jay. It's been 20 years. She was like, oops, now I sure have my revenge.
In Peru, Trump don't care if you got papers. You don't care. You're singing anyway. No, ma'am. So I don't know. He's old now. And the guy, his attorney's like, hey, we got to charge this guy $50 million or $80 million to make sure this never happens again. Oh, I think he's 80 years old. I think the amount is $50 million. The numbers in my head, they got kind of jumbled. But you're going to, wait. First off, he's too old to harass anybody other than a pill bottle. And it's doing him more damage than he's doing it. So this is, I don't know. It's a money grab. Honestly, I think they're trying to leave the country and they want some money to go before they go. Like now, all these years, he's old now. How are you stopping him? His hips couldn't even do anyway. Okay. So like I said, I put my shades on 2 times and I hush.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't like to get involved in the elder abuse. I don't know if you've seen Smokey's latest show, man. It is really hard to watch. I mean, the hip movement is very disturbing, and I can't unsee it. That's why Jay got his shades on. Terrible. The waiting this long is very problematic. I don't know how you work past him being a sympathetic figure. He's 185 years old. I mean, he's 85, but still, hey, you know what? Coming after the elderly when they're 15 minutes away from dying. Can he take the money with him? No, I get that, but still, the guy's gonna be dead in 20 minutes. I mean, what's the point? I don't get it. It's, let him shuffle, let him rock his new. The hips only go like this far. You can't move too because throw a hip on stage and then you're not gonna get any money. So this is weird. Tia, what do you think?
Mo Kelly's old ass needs to probably sit down somewhere. This has been going on for 20 years, so I'm assuming that when it started, maybe something was still working and operating as it normally would for him at that point. But I was interested to know that they waited so long. And of course, we talked about power dynamics all day. So maybe they didn't want to give up the money that they were getting in the moment, or there was some kind of contract that they were working under. I don't necessarily think it's a money grab. I do think that people wait till they're not as much as risk to be able to expose someone. So, I mean, one of the songs on his album was It Still Gets Hard. So, can I say that I'm not, between the hip shaking and It Still Gets Hard, I'm not really surprised that Smokey is a nasty ass freak, right? Smokey needs to know how to keep his hands to himself. I was also a little thrown off by the wife being complicit. Like she knew. I don't know if she was the one posing the threats, like go down the hallway and shut up. I don't know what was said, but the fact that she had a part in it and they were two old ass people is even more disgusting because it's like y'all quarter past half, and this time, what are we both doing? And for both you guys to be hustling me and figuring out how to hunch on me is a little bit scary. So I'm hoping that the victims get some reprieve, whether it be monetarily or otherwise.
So I'm going to say that I was disappointed when I first heard this news because I had a certain, image about Smokey. I still remember when he was the singing Cruising and I was just like, all right now, this the man that wrote almost every song that was played at the aunties' weddings and so forth, at every family reunion, you got at least one of his songs being played. And then to hear that he was an old freak and perverted and I won't even say perverted because I don't know what happened, and sex is sex depending on where you're at. But what I will say is this, is that it's concerning because people assume just because he's old, it doesn't mean he's not a predator, because young predators become old predators. They don't stop predating just because they old and their shit them wrinkled up and they don't got some damn big balls because they might got prostate cancer. I don't know. But they don't stop doing what they're doing just because they're old. As a matter of fact, old predators find other ways to victimize people because their nature is to be a predator. So if this is all true, because he's claiming that this is a money grab as well, and I will agree that they may have picked the wrong time to come out, but they probably figured he's old and fragile and won't fight the case any longer, and they probably figure they have nothing to lose because it is this current administration. They probably figure in the next 5 minutes they're going to be deported, but let them get some money on their way out the door. That could be the case, but I don't want to take away from the fact that I feel like this is another case of a rich, famous, and powerful person who got to go unchecked for years just because of their position. And with the wife being complicit, that also confirms that she may have felt like it was her duty to make sure he got some booty. She could have been choosing the people and not knowing, and they're not knowing that the reason why she's choosing them was because it was illegal, was because they're immigrant, knew they had something to lose, and that could be something that they could hold over their head. So if Smokey go down, she need to go down too. You know what I'm saying? And because I think that's disgusting when the women participate in this type of activity. And I think it speaks a lot to their character. So I'm going to wait to see what happens because it is a civil case, because they didn't file criminally. We already got the reasons why they didn't file criminally, but I'm just like, come on, Smoke. Come on. You too old for this. And if you still over there, and I did see that last performance. And I was like, okay, Gramps. But the key word is Gramps. And matter of fact, you might be a great grandpa at this point. So great grandpa, it's okay. But anyway, let me go ahead and just close with this. I think that a lot of times when we talk about this type of stuff, the silence from the wife being complicit, the silence from the people in the house, to include the other housekeepers who may not even knew that they were all of them were being molested or raped or allegedly, also is a issue. The housekeepers, not the housekeepers, but like the drivers, the cooks, everybody who participated. I feel like this is like a enterprise. Like it takes a lot of people to see and be silent. And it's usually because of money. People are silent because they're comfortable where they are. They're comfortable with the amount of money they're getting. And that could include these women who now feel that they have nothing left to lose because they too must be old if this happened 20 years ago or about 17 to 20 years ago. And over the past several to 20 years, matter of fact, they probably decided to sue him because they're like, damn, we don't want no more wrinkled dick. We tired. Let it go, sir. We tired. I could be wrong, though.
I get it that oftentimes we talk about the timing, right? But the truth is they had to do it now. You know what I'm saying? The nigga gonna be dead tomorrow at 12. Okay. So it's like, it's either now or never. And by the way, I should just give y'all a disclaimer because this late into the show, there is no way y'all expect me to be serious at this point and not be toxic. If y'all really wanted the deep dive breakdown, then hopefully y'all left before y'all got to my part because I am not here for none of that. At this point, we about to wrap this thing on out. I'm going to get these jokes off and we going to keep it moving. Back to the jokes, right? So, of course, they had to do it now because he's about to die tomorrow, okay? So, yes, I understand why they had to make those claims. That's number one. Number two, I get what the fellas are saying. His hips don't lie, right? Because based off of the lack of movement, how can he gyrate himself into position, right? But them hips weren't always those hips. And the fact that he is still trying to shake them lets you know he's still going off of muscle memory, okay? He's still, you know what I'm saying? And it's possible that he got his walker right there. He's like, hold on, bitch, I'm about to put my walker down. But all I'm saying is that sometimes do lie, right? Because it's possible that he did, in fact, do it. That's number two. Number three, okay, I'm going to tell you how I know he's still getting hard. Pause. Look at his hair. His hair is hard. He could probably fuck the chick with his fucking perm. It's like, damn, nigga, how much processed chemical? You see that shit? Like, that shit is standing up, and so is Smokey when it comes time for shit to get spooky, okay? We should change his name to Smokey Robinson at this point, right? Let me see. Yeah, I'm here all week, y'all. And lastly, like, listen, man, I get that y'all want to hate on the wife, but she's had a long and happy life, okay? What else is she supposed to do but hold her nigga down? Not to mention, she probably ain't got the same hips. Not to mention, she don't want to be out there using those lips. So, I mean, listen, I ain't trying to be funny, but it makes sense to me. You know what I'm saying? I mean, she's giving a new twist on The Help, but apparently she needed some ayudar, which is Spanish for to help. Right? I wonder how many times Smokey was like, ayuda, ayuda.
Are you saying he needed a medical alert bracelet?
No, I'm saying he needed Duolingo so he can learn how to speak Spanish. This is not an ad, but I actually am on my 122nd consistent day. That's how I know. Ayudar. That's what Smokey was saying. So all I'm saying is I get how this is tragic. We want to wish everyone well. I also do get that since one of them said that the last incident happened in 2024, there should be criminal charges, right? To be honest. I get when there's, statute of limitations, but come on, man, it happened last year. Did you not get evidence? Can you guys corroborate and make sure that you're, so I think that's the thing that people got to understand. When you have the opportunity for it to be criminal and it's not there, just by definition, people are going to question if there's enough evidence for even them to believe it because, damn, not even the police were willing to bring you to court in the first place. And you're asking us with less information and less evidence to make a difference. So naturally, people would have some inclination to be like, we don't know for sure because, well, damn, bitch, if you're telling the truth, then why the police ain't knocking on Smokey's door? It's not like he's going to go out there running. He ain't going to run nowhere. Nigga ain't got no good hips to be out there running. But with that being said, maybe we should go on this episode, Hips Don't Lie. You know what I'm saying? I'm just playing.